Rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector.
Welcome to the IPA Champions Cup, live on Sporty Stuff TV. A warm welcome to our host, Kelly Scott.
Good afternoon and welcome to day 3 of the 2021 Sporty Stuff TV Champions Cup. Coming live from the Pride Media Centre here in Gateshead every Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday afternoon and evening for the next 8 weeks. Now, we've already had 2 amazing days of the tournament already, but what is ahead of us for day 3? Joining me is our resident expert, Mark Pickworth. Mark, 2 big days. What are you expecting from the players today?
Well, we've got 4 more of the world's best players, and no doubt we're going to see some real explosive action once again. And, you know, I'm sure it'll be fast and exciting action. And
you're going to be actually enjoying it from the commentary box, aren't you? How do you enjoy watching the whole game from there?
Yeah, I love watching the game from there because, you know, you get to see all the camera angles and, of course, you get to see all the players' reactions and hopefully we'll see plenty of them today.
Definitely. We'll let you get on and get yourself settled and let's get day 3 of the tournament started. Let's meet our first player.
Introducing a Scottish international and former professional snooker player. He's ready for the challenge and raring to go. It's hot shot, Robert Stevens!
Good afternoon, Robert. So, you are pretty new to this tour. So how does it feel to be involved in this tournament?
It's exciting. We've had a tough year, so it's really good to get back to some competitive action and hopefully put on a show for the audience.
Now, have you managed to play much during lockdown? Because I know a lot of people, their kind of practice schedule's slightly changed, hasn't it?
It has. I've not got a table in the house or anything, so I rely on, obviously, my club, McGoldrick's, and we just were allowed to open back up 2 weeks ago, so the last 2 weeks has pretty much been getting hammered, and that's it.
And I don't know if you've seen over the past few days, but obviously being from Scotland, are you going to be following Ross Fernie, the riot, do you reckon?
Well, that's the plan, yeah. Not as much as I riot as him, but hopefully it's a bit more smooth sailing.
Yeah, well, best of luck. Go and take a seat.
Thank you, cheers.
OK, we've got hot shots in place, but who is he against? Let's meet our second player.
Introducing It is my pleasure to introduce to the arena a member of England's World Championship winning team and the Isle of Man Ladies Champion 2019. They call her the Bear. It's Vicky LOMAX.
Good afternoon, Vicky. I know I can't let this go without, we all want to know, the Bear. Where does that name come from?
Long story short, a good friend of mine, Dean, hates women's voices, and he said, "Oh, you're all right though, Vic, because you sound like a bear," and it's just stuck ever since.
Right. Basically, you don't sound like a bear, but I do very much like the name. And winning that big competition at the Isle of Man, how did that feel?
Yeah, it was great. It was my first season on the IPA tour. I had a final, got battered by Emma, a couple of quarter-finals, so it was good to finally get a win under my belt on the last leg of the tour. Yeah, it was great.
And how would it feel to win this tournament?
I think I'd be quitting my day job and going as a professional pool player if I could have managed to win this tournament with the boys that are in this.
I like the sound of that. We'll go and take a seat, and best of luck, Vicky. Thank you. OK, so we have our players already in place. Let's head over to our commentary team with Mark Pickworth and Dean Shields.
Thank you, Kelly. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Pride Media Centre here in Gateshead. And God, I think we're in for some action. And I'm joined, I'm delighted to tell you that I'm joined by my fellow professional player, Dean Shields. Hello, Dean.
Hi, Mark. You okay?
Yeah, all right. Do you want to tell the audience a little bit about yourself? You know, the ranking and how you got into pool a little bit.
Well, I got into pool, well, probably back when I was about 8 or 9 year old, just going playing local league with my dad, but I didn't join the IPA until 2018, so it took a while for me to take it a bit more seriously, but Doing okay so far. I think I'm ranked 40 at the moment, but hoping to get into the top 16 this year.
I'm sure we'll see more of you, definitely.
Hopefully.
And you're in this competition as well. What week number are you in?
I play week 5, Tuesday I think it is. I've got Jake Newlove.
Okay, I'm sure that'll be...
Yeah, it'll be a good game.
I mean, what about the action we've seen so far? Are you going to produce some of that?
Hopefully. Like I say, I'm quite lucky. I've got my own club, so I've been managing to play over lockdown. Whereas a lot of people obviously haven't had that luxury. So hopefully that'll stand me in good stead.
Awesome. So let's try and get to the action then. So, I mean, you've travelled down with Vicky today, haven't you? Because you're in that sort of bubble.
Yeah.
You obviously know her quite a bit. I mean, we're on the Reds now. You just you want to talk us through some of the shots, and we'll probably start with Robert.
I think we're best starting with Robert after that one. Yeah. Not the greatest of breaks there, I don't think. It's going to be quite a scrappy frame, it looks to me.
Yeah, I mean, personally, what would you rather be here, looking at the table?
Probably Reds, I'd say. Just because there's a good 3 or 4 yellows that need a bit of work, and there's not really much to go off. But we'll see how Robert goes. That's a nice opening shot.
And just tell us, let's go back to Vicky. What sort of preparation do you think that she's had? Has it been good preparation? Have you helped her out in any way, shape or form?
Yeah, like I say, she's we've been in the bubble. We've managed to have a bit of a practice. So, I mean, it's not obviously she's not been able to play as much as I have, but she's in good form at the moment. So she's looking forward to it.
Oh, that's excellent. And Robert, we know a little bit. I mean, he's joining the tour this year, and he's coming from a bit of a big background. Do you think he could make a massive difference to the tour?
I don't know too much myself personally from him, but I have heard a few bits. And like I say, if he's coming from he's an ex-pro at snooker.
He is, yeah.
He's bound to be a good cueist. So it's just how he takes to the game. Not every snooker player can switch easily to pool, as much as it's technically an easier game. Not everyone switches too easily.
Yeah, and he's from Scotland. Glasgow in Scotland. And we've had quite a lot of the Scottish contingent already, and I know there's still quite a few more to come through the weeks.
There's some talent in Scotland. It's incredible.
Yeah,
they love it, the boys.
It's a better pool, isn't it?
It is.
Or the Homer pool. I think that's what they that's what they say, don't they? We can talk about your international sort of times, because you've played quite a few matches against Scotland, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, they're always great games against the Scottish boys. I don't think I've ever played where they've got a weak link in the side. No, even if one of the 2 players drop out, they replace them with someone else who's just as good. It's like I say, Scotland's a real hotbed for talent.
Yeah. And there doesn't seem to ever be a surprise about who gets left out or who's in the team, is it?
No, like I say, they're always top-notch players.
And it's never a team that picks itself either, is it? So it's all down to some sort of form, isn't it?
I say that even the B team that they have is just littered with good players, and they always do well in the B section. It's no surprise. So.
Yeah, and I suppose, throughout this pandemic, we've not really had too much international pool go off.
No.
Do you know sort of when that's sort of going to get started again?
I don't think there's anything official. If there is, I've not been privy to the conversations. But I know that there isn't anything for the rest of this year. So it's going to be quite a long break between, because the last event was November 19 in Cyprus. So yeah, it's going to be quite a break between the two events. So maybe teams have changed quite a bit.
Okay.
That's quite an aggressive shot there. It's not quite gone Vicky's way.
No. Well, I'll let you concentrate on being the expert for this. And I mean, Robert's going for these yellows now, so try and talk us through, if there's any possible chances of any clearance.
I think he's probably just looking at covering the bag here. If it goes, he can have a go at the finish, but he's quite happy with that.
So do you think the game's sort of turned around here? We mentioned earlier that probably the Reds were in a bit more control. Has it changed a little bit?
I'd say it's more 50-50 now. Now Robert's played that nice shot, but like I said, there is the beauty of black ball rules. There's no there's never anyone that's massively ahead in a frame. Like say Vicky there, just taking a bad ball out straight away.
It's a lovely shot that was.
So you can always carve opportunities out even when you're an underdog in a frame.
So do we think this squeeze is
Double,
plant?
I think.
Maybe
Yeah, double plant. That's just where the first red's gone. Which is, yeah, it's not what she wanted. Maybe played that a touch too pacey. She's played that dead weight and left it over the hole. She'd have had a bit of something to go off.
I mean, in this position here, she hasn't got really too many options, has she? So
no, I don't know how generous the bags are playing. Nah.
Foul. One free shot, one
advantage Robert Stephen first frame.
Yeah, well, definitely weren't the best of shots. She was in control of this frame, and I think she. Would you think she'll be probably disappointed about her sort of first visit to the table? She looks quite comfortable out there, though, I must say.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure. I think she'll be looking to settle in this first frame. I think they both will, to be fair. I think from the guys that have played in the first 2 days, we've had the tables playing like lightning, so it's going to take a bit of time to get used to.
So Robert here, you know, he's got it's probably quite an easy finish, and these are ones that you really need to get, don't you, when you get the chance. So he's just got a book, you know, it's a first frame. We've mentioned about the table is quite rapid, so you will just see how well he's going to adapt in this frame.
I can't see any issues here. It should be fine.
That looks pretty much perfect. You know, for me, he's got two easier balls here, you know, with the yellow just into the bottom left corner. And he should have a simple black after this. This looks pretty good.
Yeah, that's fine.
Pretty good area, a little bit of hamper, but should be quite comfortable enough. And there's the first frame.
Brilliant.
1-0 to Robert.
We'll go into a commercial break. Sorry, I'll leave the television. We'll go into a commercial break.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to have a commercial break, and then we'll be right back with the action.
At Bet365, we take horse racing very seriously. We go out of our way to feature every race that matters. If it's important to you, then it's important to us. We're the world's favorite online sports betting company for many reasons. Horse racing is just one of them. Gamble responsibly.
What makes Great Ormond Street Hospital special? Is it that they bring hope to hundreds of thousands of sick children with complex and life-threatening illnesses?
My nurse is called Hayley and she makes me laugh.
Can you help too by giving £3 a month so they can continue to make it an extraordinary place? Call 0800 055 7974, go online or text SPECIAL to 70125. What makes Great Ormond Street Hospital so special? It's you.
This world is full of little confusions. Get what you bargained for with Confused.com rewards.
Bigger is just better, right? Big day out. Gotta be the big wheel. Winning. Win big. That's why I chose Legal & General. They're big. The UK's #1 for life insurance, and they've been around for over 180 years. So, they know a thing or two about over 50s life insurance. They pay 100% of claims in full, which is a big number. There's no big fuss. If you're 50 to 80, you're guaranteed to be accepted. With no medical questions asked. Cover for accidental death starts immediately, with full cover after 1 year. Now, that's a big deal. But the biggest news is they've increased their payouts without increasing their prices, which could help pay for my funeral someday, or leave as a gift for him when he's bigger.
Think bigger with Legal & General's over 50s life insurance and get our biggest ever £110 gift card. Call our UK team today free on 0800 048 2012.
At Glasses Direct, try the glasses you like at home for free. Get your glasses your way at glassesdirect.co.uk.
Please find a special place in your heart for the children. Call 0800 055 7974, go online or text SPECIAL to 70125.
At Betfair, we know racing often comes down to the finest of margins. A neck, a head, a nose. But those margins can prove the difference. Give yourself the advantage and win bigger with My Odds Boost on the Betfair Sportsbook. Boost your odds on 3 horses every day and get better odds for better returns. My Odds Boost with Betfair.
Frame 2. Robert Stephen to break.
Oh, welcome back to the action here.
Time running.
So Robert Stephen, in case you've missed it, has taken the first frame. You know, Vicky had a really good chance there in the opening start of that. What do you think to that, Dean?
Yeah, I mean, it was a decent chance. She still had work to do. She just overhit the double a little bit and kind of left herself in trouble. But Robert took his balls out well. He seems to have adapted to the table straight away.
Yeah, he does look quite calm out there, doesn't he? So, you know, we've had a chance to speak to these players, you know, for the last couple of hours, haven't we? And sometimes you can sort of get a bit of an impression about how they're feeling, etc.
Yeah, he looked very relaxed back in the green room, definitely. He looks like he's done it all before.
So, opening table, sort of after that break, what's your thoughts?
I think I'll be going reds here. I'm not quite sure what he's playing here. Just squeezing through. Yeah. Yeah, it was a bit of a wild shot. I mean, the pot should have been simple enough, but he was relying on a bit of luck with the cue ball.
Do you think he tried to get the black out then? Because obviously that's going to be one of his toughest balls, isn't it? So,
potentially. Well, I say you're still relying on luck that you're going to land on your next red.
Yeah.
Big chance really for Vicky now to try and stamp her authority in the game.
10 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I think Vicky's started okay, hasn't she? You know, she looks like she's okay out there. She's adapting to the conditions. You know, you don't adapt first frame, do you? So, you know, it could take a frame or two. But, you know, in this short race, you've probably got to adapt sometimes quicker than the other person, haven't you?
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, a race of 6 is slightly short if you've got to adapt to a table as well. It's a big ask. I don't want to slag her off too much if I'm playing in a few weeks' time.
But also, you know, it's not just about the table and the arena. You know, the whole studio sort of environment.
Yeah.
You know, you've walked around here. What's your thoughts about that?
Oh, it's incredible the work that's behind the scenes that probably people at home don't get to see. You know, it's there's a lot that goes into this. It's a great setup. And that probably does add a little bit of nerves as well, you know, because the players obviously they played under TV cameras before, but not to the extent that this production is, or you know, things like with the walk-ons or whatever. It'll all just add to a little bit of tension, I think.
Yeah, and I think some of the players are going to have a bit of a surprise when they get here, don't they? It's not just about getting a cue out of a case and just chalking up and breaking off, is it? There's quite a bit more stuff to do, isn't there?
There is, definitely. I think hopefully it'll do be good when I come back. I've seen it all before now.
Well, I'm going to change everything then. I'm not going to tell our director that, but that's only just to get at you, really.
Vicky will be a little bit disappointed that she's not managed to cover the bag there. If that had gone, she was in for a good chance to get the equalising frame here.
Yeah, so they both missed a ball each, you know, there's probably a little bit of nerves out there, and just trying to settle down, and that doesn't look great, does it?
That gives you an insight a little bit into Robert's mentality, I think. I'd been looking at going for a finish there, but he's obviously not quite as aggressive, trying to get the bag and get control of the frame.
Would you say, like Robert, you know, the first sort of shots you've seen of him, is he quite methodical?
He looks that way. Like I say, he'll be a bit annoyed that he's not managed to cover the bag there. But yeah, he does look a lot more methodical, and that'll be from his snooker background for sure.
Yeah, surely it will. And Vicky, I mean, she's got a good chance here. If she's got a good angle on this, she looks okay there, doesn't she?
Yeah, she should be okay. And there's just a slightly hampered bridging.
Bridgehand looked really steady there, didn't it? And I'm sure you're quite proud of her.
We'll see if she pots this first.
Yeah. So this black to level this match. It looks good, and there it goes. It's 1 apiece. So you feeling okay now that Vicky's got a frame on the board?
Yeah, I think she'll settle down now, which it'll be good. I think she'll be getting right into this now. She'll be up for it.
Oh, good. Yeah, I was very impressed with the cue action. You know, she left herself a little bit hampered, but she looked, you know, it was so steady, because it's so important that you have a steady hand into it.
Yeah. I mean, Vicky's a great potter. I said the only thing that lets her down sometimes is a positional play, but if you give her a tricky ball to pot, I'd back her to potting 9 times out of 10. She's a great potter.
Yeah, and anybody that doesn't know, you know, she plays on our main tour and she plays on our ladies tour. You know, she's currently number 2 in the ladies rankings. You know, she's doing really well. And, you know, over these last 3 years that I've met Vicky and, you know, watched her, you know, she's improved over each year, hasn't she?
Big time, yeah. I mean, she only actually started playing pool to a fairly decent level. We think we're talking 4 or 5 years ago, when I'd been trying to convince her for 3 or 4 seasons to join the county setup, and she was saying, "Oh, I'm not good enough, and it took a long time for me to convince her. And then once we got her on board, she's just gone from level to level. She went from county to international to joining the IPA and doing well on that, winning an event. Yeah, I'm really proud of her.
And now here she is on Sporty Stuff TV.
Yeah, flying the flag.
You know, and you know she can really win this match, can't she? And that, you know, I'm really sort of impressed with what I've seen so far. Another good break there from Vicky. Any thoughts about this layout?
It's hard to see. I'd be going yellows. She's got to take this long one. Yeah, it was a tricky one. If that had gone, I'd have fancied it. I fancied her for the finish. Maybe not from where the whites ended up. She had a stroke of luck with her, but yeah, I didn't see any value in going reds, so I think she had to force herself for that pot.
I mean, just for the audience out there, you know, because Vicky hasn't potted a ball off the next visit after her break. It's still an open table. So Roberts, I mean, he didn't have much choice but to go for yellows there, did he? So, but, you know, even if he did have a choice,
he would still have gone yellows.
He would have still gone yellows, yes,
100%.
definitely.
100%. This is a good chance. If this yellow does drop in the middle, which to me it looks like it does, then yeah, it should be taking these out really.
You know, Roberts, you know, he's had chances to win both these frames, hasn't he? You know, and if he doesn't take this one, and you know, Vicky does get another frame on the board, what do you think would be going through his mind?
Well, that's it. I mean, I know we said that we've not seen much of Robert because he's not been on the tour, so I'm guessing he likewise hasn't seen much of Vicky. So he's probably trying to gauge, you know, how the game's going to go. That's a nice shot. Obviously, that yellow didn't go. In fact, having said that, he's pushed it slightly too far. Probably the pace of the table again.
Yeah, and this looks like this is probably the most important shot of this frame now, and he's just got to make sure he pots this, has he? Or he needs to run it through a little.
It's awkward queuing this. It's a test of queuing. Played it very well.
He did. So now should be quite simple from here, but we say that.
That's another tricky shot, this.
It is. It definitely looks easy on the telly. There's no doubt about it, but there's still some work to do here.
A delicate shot needed here. That's a lovely shot. Again, a little bit of work. He's got to. He can't just drop this in dead weight because he'd be a snooker behind the red. So he's got to play it with a little bit of pace. Is that far enough? Yeah, judged it beautifully.
So just this black then to go 2-1. And there it is. It's 2-1 to Robert Stephen. Join us in a few minutes. We'll be right back with the action.
Frame 4. Robert Stephen to break, leading 2 frames to 1. Time running.
Welcome back, everyone. As you just heard then, Brian Moss just announcing the score and getting this game back underway. I'm still joined in the comments box by our local expert, Dean Shields. Not so local.
Not so local, no.
But, you know, what's your thoughts about the first 3 frames?
I think generally both players will be fairly happy. They both seem to have settled quite well. They both had chances, but I think they'll both be happy, both be up for the challenge ahead.
You know, we spoke sort of in the break there, didn't we? You know, Robert's from a snooker background. You know, can we sort of tell that from what we've seen so far?
I think in his general demeanour around the table, you can. He looks very comfortable, and generally he's cueing the ball quite well. So we saw on the first 2 days of people slightly overhitting the shots with the table catching him out, but he looks like he's used to playing on a table this fast. Seems very comfortable.
Yeah, he does. And how do you think he's going to go about this finish then?
He's left himself a bit of a tricky shot here. I think he wanted to run the white on and off the side rail there. If he can get this, it should be routine. Yeah, played that again very well.
Yeah, pretty much the heart of the pocket there from the hot shot. We've not used that nickname too often, but I think we should, because he don't look like he's going to miss a shot now.
Probably would have liked another half a roll on that.
Yeah, because you know, ideally we probably wanted the bottom yellow first. Would you agree?
Yeah, so I'd see if he can get through. Now he's taking the top one. Yeah, slight change of plan, but it shouldn't have any problems here.
No, it's definitely looked like he's settled really well into this now, and
yeah, he's playing at a good speed as well.
Yeah, it's like he's picked it up a bit, hasn't he, since the first 2 frames.
Definitely. That's cueing the ball lovely now.
So yeah, he's just got this pretty simple yellow with the white ball on or off the cushion, with a pretty much simple black into the centre, and that looks pretty good.
Yeah, very nice break dish. 3-1.
There we got it. 3-1 it is. So let's we'll talk about the hot shot then. Obviously we know he's from Glasgow, up there in sunny Scotland.
Sunny Scotland, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a few stats on him, you know, about his pool background and that. I mean, one of them, he's won the Scottish I Am Champion 2019.
That's a big achievement for someone that's only been playing pool for a handful of years. Because they're big tournaments up there. Like we said, we spoke about the talent that the Scottish boys have.
Yeah, and another one that sticks out there is the 5th in the Scottish rankings. What about that?
Yeah.
I mean, you could name 20 players that should be in the top 5.
Yeah, that surprises me, that, really.
It?
I mean, no disrespect to him, but, you know, with the amount of names that I know, that's some achievement as well.
Yeah, and look at his pool ambition. Wants to be a Scottish champion as well. So, I mean, what we're seeing here, you know, he could be the Champions Cup champion.
It looks like he's got the game, certainly. Vicky needs a good break here.
She's broke them from the side, and it's probably the first time she's not been successful.
It's a good split as well.
Yeah.
That's a very good split. If she'd made a ball there, then she'd have been happy, but pool gods don't always work for you.
No, so first thoughts about the table then? How do you think Robert's going to take these?
You put me on the spot here, mate.
I mean, the reds, he hasn't really got an easy opening ball. It's easier on the yellows, but, you know, he has got a tricky yellow.
And, that's gone wrong straight away. That's why I was hesitant to call one there, because I knew the yellow, you'd be running into those, and you're not guaranteed. But
And I think we've seen, you know, in these conditions, when you start running into balls and you're not under that control, things can go wrong very easily.
He still has options, but it's slowly getting harder.
Yeah, because, you know, there's not even a good sort of safety snooker shot either, is there, so for him? So, you know, but the more balls he pots, the harder this clearance is going to prove to come.
That's a great shot. I think he can still make a finish here. The yellow that's near the right centre pocket, well, if he plays that off the red to develop the black, then the frame is there.
Yeah.
It's just being quite precise with the cue ball for the next 3 pots or so.
Do you think he's lying on a bit of luck there? There's going to be some skill in that shot?
I don't think it's luck per se. Like I said, the skill that's going to be needed is to get in the position to play the shot in the first place. But the shot itself, to develop the black, isn't too difficult. Not sure what he's looking at here. Might be looking to force through and maybe plant the black red to pot the red as well. It's hard to tell. No, change plan.
I don't think he had quite the angle to go into the black and the red there,
No,
did he?
He just looked like he was lining it up to me.
Yeah.
Probably changed his mind.
I think he's going to play the shot that you've already mentioned, so unless he... Okay.
He's played that nice.
Do you like the way he's sort of giving himself left a yellow up there to give him another option?
Personally, I might have been playing this yellow last. He's still, he can quite simply just flick off it. In fact, he's playing it straight in and flicking the black with the white, I think. There we go. Not too bad.
So in your experience of pool, do you think a lot of pool players would have gone the way you would, or gone the way that the hot shot would have?
That's the beauty of pool, everyone's different.
Yeah.
I mean, I might be in the minority saying I'd have gone off the red there just to flick the black out, but I don't know, we'll have to see what people think. This needs to bounce.
No, it's not bad at all.
He's had a nice nudge there.
He has, but what a great pot. You know, he's had two sort of tough long balls there, and you know, he's come up with the goods, hasn't he?
Yeah, his potting's pretty decent. It's, I think he was trying to go on and off the side rail with a cue ball there, but he'll take this. That was all about pace.
Well, it's all about pace, but the black is down, and the hot shot is 4-1 up against the bear.
Frame 6, Robert Stephen to break, leading 4 frames to 1. Time running.
Well, welcome back. Brian Moss has got the action underway once again. And, you know, I've still got Dean Shields in the comms box with me. And, Dean, you know, Robert Stephen, can Vicky get back into this match?
Well, it's going to be a tough ask. Robert's playing great pool at the moment. And he's just punished Vicky for the dry break in the last frame. He's stuck out, I think that's his first visit finish of the match. And he's got another chance here.
And yeah, I mean, this is a great break in it. The balls have split absolutely lovely. There's not even a safe ball on any of the colours. No. And should this be pretty simple? Which routine would you go? I know you got the last one wrong, but I think you can get this one right.
To be honest, again, it's all player preference, but I think I wouldn't be leaving the one that's up to the top left. I won't be leaving that too long, I don't think.
10 seconds.
Whether he takes it now or on his next shot.
Extension, please.
I'm not sure.
I mean, you know, he's taking it now, but as we can see from that angle, the angle isn't great, so this has got to take some good control.
He's played that well.
Yeah, he's played it into a good percentage shot, hasn't he? And, you know, and I mean, after this next shot, we'll just see how well that the hot shot has got used to these conditions now, because he's going to play this with a little bit of run inside.
Yeah, trying to go 2 cushions to land centre of the table, so it's just judging the pace. To see if that's gone far enough. He'd like to win straight on this one to middle.
Yeah, I think they both go to the right. Well, they definitely, the top one does. I think the
other was the left corner.
Yeah. Oh, it does. Yeah.
Probably use the yellow to stop the cue ball here. Oh, he slid past it. I think he was trying to hit that full ball. So now this is a big shot.
Yeah, so how many times out of 10 would you expect to be getting this? Is this a 2 or a 3 or a bit more?
If you're lucky, because I'm not sure if it's a full pocket as well. Yeah. Oh, that is brilliant. That's superb.
Brilliant shot.
That's a great shot. That's shot of the match so far for me.
Yeah, and the hot shot is now 5 frames to 1 ahead, and let's be honest, that was such a great last sort of a red ball to get on that black as well.
That was a phenomenal pop.
It really was.
So, almost home and hosed.
Yeah, it is, and you know, I mean, we haven't spoke much about the bear, so I think we should. Hopefully she's going to keep in this match a little bit longer, you know, because you're sort of cheering her on and all of that out.
I'm totally unbiased, me, Matt.
You know, I've already mentioned earlier, you know, she's number 2 in the ladies' rankings, you know, and there's some of the other bits there, you know, 8 years she's been playing pool, you know. You know, it looks like she's been playing a bit longer, would you agree?
Yeah, like I said, she's been playing, I think she's been playing 8 years, but only sort of 4 or 5 of them are trying to take it serious, you know. And it's only in the last 2 or 3 years that she's really pushed on. It was just a shame with that last break would come up dry and they were all split and, you know, all lifts and butts, but this game could have been a lot tighter.
Yeah.
Needs to make a ball here. It's not looking good.
Oh, the yellow's in. Well done. I mean, some of the ambitions that she's got. I mean, she's set her standards very high. You know, she wants to be the #1 ladies player, and she also wants to win the ladies IPA World Championship. What about that?
Yeah. Well, you got to set your sights high. I think she's got the game, to be honest.
10 seconds.
I mean, hopefully, I mean, we've seen some good stuff from her early doors, and even though she'll be disappointed not getting a frame on the board, you know, she has showed some good quality, and hopefully she can come good in this frame.
Yeah. Oh, she's all screwed that.
Foul.
She will not be happy at that. I think that's the only shot that she'll really be annoyed at.
1 free shot, 1 visit.
I think the table's just caught her there. She was trying to stun out to play the one higher than the black, and she's just got into it a bit too much.
And she's gone back to her chair there, smiling. What do you think's gone through her mind there?
I've got a feeling she might be wondering what I'm saying in here.
Bless her. I'm sure you'll tell her.
Nice idea from Robert there, but he's knocked the reds safe. So it's still a bit of work. Oh, that's the first one where he's thrown in a little bit there. He's looked very assured up to then.
Yeah, his cue action, it was very different to what we've saw from the hot shot in the previous 3 frames, definitely.
But I wonder if it's a scoreline when he knows he's only a few shots away.
You know, and we've seen it over these past couple of days, you know.
10 seconds.
There's some tension out there, you know, and we've also said, you know, in that arena, it's absolutely pinpoint silent, honestly, and it's going to be different.
I'm not sure what Vicky's been left here. She's had to go for the plant cut, which, yeah, is not a shot you really want to be forcing yourself to play.
But to be honest, that's not bad if that's covered that red, because you know, Robert's got a bit of work to do. He's got quite a few balls to develop balls, though, hasn't he?
I think we saw in, I think it was frame 2, he played a safety when there was an option for the finish, so he might not even go for the finish yet. I think he's played to play that off the yellow to free the pocket, and he's not quite got it.
very containing shot there from the hot shot. But it's sort of evened this frame out now, and we really need to see the bear get back into this now. What's our options here then, do you think?
It's hard to tell. It looks like it's covered on the one that's nearest the bottom right. So, oh, there we go. She's been slightly unlucky again. It looks like, for me, she's only got the plant, because if she takes the one over the pocket, not only is she leaving herself hampered, she's opening the pocket for Robert.
Yeah,
so it's got to be the plant.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I mean, it weren't an easy plant, was it? Because the second yellow was just off the cushion.
Yeah, I think she'll be fairly happy with that. Although I'll be surprised if she's not in a snooker when she comes back to the table. Oh, he's taking this on.
We can see, you know, from the picture there, you know, he has still got a tough red, you know, which is blocked by them two yellows. You know, what shot do you think he can play to get on that? You know, would he try and get behind it? Would he try and move it out?
Potentially moving it out off the one in the centre. Well, I'm not quite sure what his plan is here. Maybe the one off the side rail next, to try and pot that and go into it, or to move it. Possibly the only thing I could think from here. It needs a bit of an angle.
It don't look much of an angle. He probably wanted a bit more, didn't he?
That's if well, he might not be thinking the same way we are. I'd say pool's a funny old game. Everyone goes about it differently.
So, do you think we're going to see a containing shot now, or is he going to go all out and just try and get over the line?
I think when you've gone this far, it's kind of pointless going for a containing shot now.
It doesn't look like it's going to go right. Well, he's only got one option here, hasn't he? And he's got to come up with some sort of... Is it like a treble double or something like that?
I mean, he may just knock this red on in front of the yellows to leave Vicky just the up and down, and trying to block it with the black as well.
Which he's done, and you can see this has made this getting out this snooker a little bit tougher. And we know that the table is playing quite grippy, you know, so she's going to get a different reaction than you would down your local club off this table. So if she gets out of this, it will be a tremendous shot.
This is a big shot.
Foul. 1 free shot, 1 visit. Time running.
Wow. First thoughts?
First thought is that's the last shot. The way they finish it should just be a 3-ball plant, develop the red, and good night Vienna.
Yeah, it looks like now the bear is unfortunately be heading home. He's got 2 simple balls remaining to take the first match of the afternoon session. So this black, and there he goes. Robert Stephen, the hot shot, beats the Vicky LOMAX, the bear, by 6 frames to 1. We're going to take a break, and we'll get the next players out.
Welcome back to day 3 of the 2021 Sporty Stuff TV Champions Cup. We've just had our first game of the day with the hot shot beating the bear, so the hot shot will go through tonight to play in tonight's final at 10 o'clock. But who is going to be joining him? Let's meet our first player.
Introducing a player with a point to prove and here to show his talent. They call him the Don. It's Alex O'Donoghue!
Hello there, Alex, or should I say the Don. And how are you feeling right now after watching the first game? Are you settled in and ready to go?
Yeah, ready to go. It looks like the table's playing great, so looking forward to it.
And what was the last tournament you played before this one, and how did it go?
I actually reached the final. It was a really good event, and yeah, it's nice. It's just nice to get out and play.
Yeah, so I think if that went well, I bet you're hoping this goes just the same way.
Well, hopefully. I mean, lockdown, we haven't played for a while, but we'll see.
Okay, well, do you want to take a
Thank
seat?
you very much.
And best of luck. Okay, so the Don is getting settled, but who is his opponent? Let's meet play number 2.
Allow me to introduce the IPA number 16 and arguably the most improved player on the tour. It's the Rocket, Gav Robinson.
Good afternoon, Gav. I like that strut as you came out, very confident.
Thank you.
Now, it doesn't seem like it bothers you at all with cameras or anything like that?
No, we've been here a lot of times now, I think, haven't we?
Yeah, and have you had much time to practice at all during lockdown?
The last week I haven't been practicing too much, but before that I've been really on it, like, so just all on the day now, innit?
And I saw you playing with, well, you were with Jimmy White recently. What was it like that at the event?
Yeah, it was a nice touch, though.
Do you enjoy yourself?
Yeah.
And you reckon you're going to have a good time on the table today?
I hope so.
Okay, well, do you want to take a seat? Best of luck.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have the Rocket and the Don in place. So I think we'd better get started. Let's head over to our commentary team with Mark Pickworth and Gene Shields.
Thank you very much, Kelly. And, you know, this is our second match of the afternoon. I'm just going to let Brian Moss introduce and get this game underway.
Thanks, Alex. Frame 1. Alex O'Donoghue to break. Time running.
So that's our referee, Brian Moss. He's getting the action underway, and this could be a really epic battle. You know, we've got 2 professional players here currently on the ranks. We've got Alex O'Donoghue, the Don. He's currently ranked number 45. And then we've got Gavin Robinson, the Rocket, who's currently ranked 16, and he's the seeded player in this group. So I'm expecting some fireworks, fast and furious action. So take your seats and enjoy this. So not a great start there, but off the break. But you know, Gavin is he's opted for the yellows here, so we're just going to see which way he's going to go. But he'll probably leave that ball over the bag, because that sort of blocks them 3 reds. So you know, because especially when he's got this yellow next to this black ball, he's got a really tough sort of option. So it all depends now whether how he feels. You know, is he going to be attacking at the start, or is he going to wait a little bit longer to get that? You know, me personally, I'll be trying to get this ball out and just put a bit of pressure on the Don. And there you see it. So yeah, a good opening visit there from the Rocket, and he's just asking a question really of his opponent. So we'll see what options Alex has got here, and he'll be looking to try and clear that top left bag, you know, and that's the joys of our rule set. You know, Blackpool rules. You know, you can, as long as you pot your ball, you can pot any of the opponent's ball at the same time, you know, and still be on the table. So that's why it makes it sort of fast, furious, and keeps the action really, really watchable. So first shot didn't really go to plan, but he's got a red slightly out. He's still got 2 reds that have, you know, quite tied up. So we'll just see what Alex does here, and we should be able to have a bit of an idea about what he's going to do next. So, because he's going to need an angle to get back up the table to try and move a yellow or move the reds. So it's just really important now. His positional play is really, really precise. So as you can see, we've got an angle already. If this red goes past the yellow, I mean, both these reds don't look like they've got the full bags in either of these bottom two pockets. So it's going to take some precise potting. That's a good pot, and I think he might be happy with this. But then, you know, you saw his facial expression there, which I mentioned in my intro. You know, this is sometimes you can get a good read from players just to, you know, see how happy they are with shots. I know when I sort of play, you know, I'm sat in the chair, I'll always look for the player's body language and just see what I can see and try and read from them a little bit. This is a delicate shot. Is it going to rest? No, it's not. So it's not gone to plan so far. So he's got the red tied up on the left-hand corner. I mean, will we see him play a skill shot here, open shot, so we can play the ball,
10 seconds.
Play his red ball, play it onto the yellow, and follow them both in together, and it hasn't. So that is a foul shot.
Foul. 1 free shot, 1 visit. Time running.
And the Rocket now is in control of this frame, so you know, got to expect him to pick this ball up, and he'll try and develop a ball if he needs to, or he'll pot a ball if he feels comfortable that he can pot his other balls quite easily. And there you go, that sort of asks that question straight away. So if anybody's just joined us, this is our second match of the afternoon. Our first match between the Hotshot and the Bear ended by 6 frames to 1, and it was a pretty one-sided match, just as the score sort of indicated. But to be honest, you know, the Bear did have chances very early on in that match, and unfortunately didn't go quite away. And wow, what are we seeing here? And that's a great shot there from the Rocket. He's got the black moving, and he's got a really simple straight 8 ball here to go 1 frame to 0 ahead. And that is to be honest, that's a poor miss, and I'm expecting now for him to get really punished. So he should have really potted this quite easily, and I'm not sure what's gone through his mind there. What's the Don done with this? He don't want to be on the cushion, and this white ball is going to have to do some travelling now to get on this final black. We're seeing it all in this opening frame, and neither player has sort of relaxed into this, you know, just quite yet. Here's the white ball. That's not too bad at all, and I'm not going to say anything on this one just in case we see another miss. There we go. The Don is 1-0 to 0 up. So that's our winner of the first frame, Alex O'Donoghue, nicknamed the Don. He's come all the way from Swindon, and you know, I think he said it took him, about 4 hours to get here this morning, set up at 6:30. and took him 4.5 hours. So he's had a bit of a travel down here.
Frame 2. Gavin Robinson to break, trailing 1 frame to 0. Time running.
Let's just see how the Rocket replies to Don's opening frame. And that's not gone particularly well for him. It's you know, his first break, and it's a dry one. So we'll have a little bit on there, because you're looking at this frame. It's there could be a few sort of safety shots just to try and get control of the table.
10 seconds.
Or should I say, like a containing shot at some sort of point of this frame. I mean, Alex will probably prove me wrong now. He'll probably just go for all of these and clear them up, but we'll just see, you know. I'm expecting the bag to be covered sooner rather than later. I mean, we'll give you some information on the Don. You know, years playing pool, 21. I mean, he doesn't look like he's been playing pool for 21 years. I mean, he still looks like he's about 30-year-old out there. But, you know, he's on here, so he's played for 21 years, and, you know, he's got some real major titles out there. He was 2014 Amateur European Open champion. He's been a national singles champion in 2019, so he's got some massive titles out there, and he's always sort of knocking on the door, you know, the quarters, the semis. He's been to a few finals in the IPA ranks and also other competitions, you know, throughout Britain. So, you know, he's no pushover, even though he's a number 45 seed. You know, these boys have got some talent. So, in the way that Alex has gone about this table now, you know, I'm expecting him. He's looking to go for these now and try and get a 2-0 lead. That's not gone right. He'll be a bit disappointed. He wanted a bit of a thicker contact there, so the red sort of stopped a bit closer to the cushion.
Time running.
So the referee there, as you heard, has scored total snooker. So for our audience out there, so Alex needs to hit his ball, the yellow ball, and you know, now he's called total snooker. He doesn't need to hit a cushion. You know, because every shot that these players play, they have to hit a cushion, unless a total snooker is confirmed by the referee. And that's a completely legal shot. But he has given control to the Rocket, and, you know, this is a pretty good chance here for Gavin. And, you know, after that first miss, you know, he needs to sort of get back into this match, and this is probably a chance that he really needs to take.
10 seconds.
So you'll probably see Gavin here, you know, because the black's at the top of the table, he might leave them last 3 balls at the top till the end, and he'll try and take these final 3 down. This is probably his toughest ball that he's got down at this end of the table, and he's played that pretty well. So he's at not the best angle. So this is going to prove a tricky sort of controllable shot, and he's just trying to drop it in. That's not bad at all. So the way that I'd probably go, obviously we're going to take this red into left middle. We'll take the ball over the corner top left bag, and I would be hoping to top, you know, to drop onto the ball that's in the middle of the cushion. That will go into the black bag, and that looks, oh, he's just overrun a bit. He might change his mind now, so he had options. So, but you know, this is really 3 easy shots that Gavin should be taking, and he should be levelling this match at 1 frame at a piece. you see it, the black that's finally potted. It's one frame each. Join us after this break where we'll continue with the action.
Frame 3, Alex O'Donoghue to break. Scores tied at 1 frame all. Time running.
And welcome back to the action, and Brian Moss has got the action back underway. Our man in the middle, as he's so called. And if you've missed some of the action already, you know, this is our second match of the afternoon, and the first match ended 6 frames to 1 to the hot shot against the Bear, and now we've got the players called the Don against the Rocket. So I've said a few bits already about the Don. You know, he's from Swindon. I'm going to say a few bits about Rocket, Gavin Robinson. You know, he's a local lad from Cowden, if I've got that pronunciation right. And he's currently ranked 16 on the IPA rankings, and in this event, turned pro back in 2017. And he's been playing pool 8 years. Still no major titles yet, but you know, as you know, he was introduced on by our sort of announcer. You know, he is one of the most improved players on the IPA tour, and I've got to totally agree with that, to be honest. And, you know, I've seen him coming through the ranks, and no doubt he'll continue to grow throughout.
10 seconds. Extension, please.
So as you've just heard then, you know, Brian Moss is called an extension. So these players get a 30 seconds each shot, and then they get an option of 1 extension per frame, which is also 30 seconds extra. So normally, you know, they'll take them. You mainly see that when they'll take them, you know, after the break, or they've got a tricky shot. So don't be surprised if we hear quite a few more extensions throughout this match, because I think we're in for a cracker. This could go really, really close.
Extension, please.
So just going back to the Rocket and some of the bits and bobs that I know about him. And, you know, I remember Gavin. He was like he got to the doubles finals. You know, he got there with Brian Helker. I remember. I mean, I think that was about 3 years now. You know, because we've missed a year because of the pandemic. But you know, he was exceptional then, and he proved to be such a great pairing. But just missed out, unfortunately. But you know, you'll see Gavin, he has a lot of emotion, you know, with some of his facial expressions, and hopefully the cameras will catch some of that, because some of them really do tell a story. We've still got a bit of work to do here on the yellows, so you know, he's going to look to try to get that tough yellow out. He's just on what options he's got now, because he's played a great shot there. Really, you know, it's still, the black's not easy, and I don't think this is going to be an easy clearance, but he looks really determined around that frame. Just look at his style of behaviour. So I'm expecting him just to screw this yellow ball back a touch, and he'll take the yellow in the top left hand corner and hopefully followed by the black. Looks like he's just over screwed that a touch, and this is going to take a little bit of extra control. Let's just see how well he's going to adapt now. I think that was all he could do, and he'll be genuinely quite happy with that. But this, you know, don't be anyway fooled. This is not an easy black, so And there he goes. What a great black that was from Gavin Robinson. And he's now taken the lead by 2 frames to 1. So, I mean, we've just seen Gavin there, you know, the rocket, he just looks like, you know, because he's missed, you know, in that first frame, missed that opening black. You know, he'd be the first to admit he should have potted that, and, you know, probably 100 out of 100 times, you know, because he's something he should have made sure of, really. And, but, you know, after that frame that he's just got there, I'm sure we're going to see him come out firing, you know, especially being called the rocket. And it's just about how much he's going to fire, so I'll take your seats, because this could be quite explosive.
Frame 4. Gavin Robinson to break, leading 2 frames to 1. Time running.
So dry break again, and it's not quite going, is it? Yeah, it is. So my first thoughts here,
10 seconds. Extension, please.
I'd probably avoid the reds, but I'd also try and avoid the yellows, because they're not really very nice and pretty balls, these ones aren't, and it'll just be about preference to seeing what he can actually do. And as you can see, he's going to take the reds here, and he's got a ball out already, so he's now got options. He's still got a red tied up next to that yellow towards the bottom left hand corner. So he'll be looking to try and sort of get control of this frame now. You know, he's got a good chance here, so don't be surprised if we see a snooker here and that's not gone to plan. And he won't be happy with that one, but you know, he's made Gavin ask the question here. You know, can he get control himself?
Ten seconds. Foul.
And as we look at the replay there,
Time running.
you know, we didn't even thought that in-off was really on, but it is. And this is going to be a really good chance now for the Don to get this back on level terms. You know, he's going to really develop his hard ball here. So we'll just trickle this down to the corner, which is exactly what he's done. And now, you know, it looks easy on here, but, you know, these players are playing in different surroundings to what they're used to on the tour, so don't be surprised if we get a ball sort of out of position or two. So, you know, he's taking this on because he wants to keep control, and what a great pot that is. So, sure, the Don now, he's just going to work out his pattern now to get back down the bottom. You should be seeing him to take these top 3 red balls out, but it all depends on where that red ball goes in the middle of the table at the top.
10 seconds. Ten seconds.
That's pretty much as good as he could have asked for, to be honest, and it's a pretty well controlled shot, and this is now a really good chance to make the scores tied at 2-2. That's just wobbled in off the jaw, but he won't worry about that now, especially if he can just take these final 3 balls. Left himself with a little bit of a hampered queuing, but he's only got to come off on and off the cushion and do it for a simple black in the middle. And this should really, I don't want to put any sort of dampeners on it, you know, this should be straightforward for him. And there you see it go. It's 2 frames each. So there we see Alex again, you know, I'll say a few personal things about him, you know. He liked his favourite TV show, Only Fools and Horses. I'm sure that's most people's favourites, to be honest. And who inspires you? My dad. And I'll tell you what, you cannot be too further from the truth there. So let's get back to this action.
Frame 5. Alex O'Donoghue to break. Scores tied at 2 frames all. Time running.
Yep, so I'm not expecting this match to be as quick as the previous one. So I'm sure there's going to be plenty of action this afternoon. So just keep with us and just see how it sort of all pans out. So we've seen another dry break from Alex. So that's something that he's hopefully going to need to get going if he really wants to get in tonight's final. And just talking about tonight's final, you know, there is another session on later on, you know, at 10 o'clock tonight, where you'll see the winners of both this afternoon's matches, and we've already had one. We've had Robert Stephen, the hot shot, already beat Vicky Lomax, the bear, by 6 frames to 1. So he's already in the final for tonight, and he'll play the winner of this match, which we're not really sure which way it's going to turn out, but we might do in the next sort of half an hour to an hour, and we'll hopefully you'll keep tuned in to keep up to date with all the action.
Ten seconds.
So we've got to just say a few things about Gavin after this. Well, you know, this is a clearance that Gavin should take again here, and to get himself back in front, he just needs to drop this into the left middle at a nice, gentle pace. That should then leave him the second to last yellow, which is over the middle, just to drop that in. Then he'll take the one to the top left and hopefully for a simple black into the right middle. So let's just see how he goes about this. I'd like that to be off a cushion a little bit, so yeah, this needs some concentration. Here we go. And there you see it, the rocket has potted the black. He's now leading this match by 3 frames to 2. Join us after the break.
Frame 6. Gavin Robinson to break, leading 3 frames to 2. Time running.
Oh, welcome back to this afternoon's action in this second match, where we've seen so far the rocket go 3 frames to 2 ahead, and I think this could be a really close match, and looking forward to the rest of this afternoon. And I'm delighted to announce that Kevin Barton is our IPA chairman, who's going to join us for the rest of this match. Kevin, how are you today?
Not too bad, Mark. It's great to join you for the second part of this match. I've been watching intently, and what a fascinating first round match this is. Certainly one of the ties of the round,
10 seconds.
certainly living up to that expectation.
Yeah, definitely. And I sort of predicted that this will probably go towards the end of this. It's going to be really tight. What's your prediction on this?
Well, I think just on the fact that Gav's probably had a little bit more match practice. He was in the Jimmy White event last weekend at Bridge, so I think just the fact that he's probably just had a little bit more prep time and some good tournament play, for me, just makes him a very marginal favourite. But I think these two on paper, in normal circumstances, are pretty evenly matched, and we talk about the improvements that Gav's made over the last few years, and Alex has been a quality player for quite a few years now as well. So, I think it's a very, very even matchup. But as I said, just that extra tournament play that Gav had next week, for me, just gives him a very, very slight advantage.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Gavin was at our previous event, which featured Jimmy White. Which was on the pay-per-view, but it was a great event, Kevin, weren't it? So hopefully we might do some more.
We'll certainly do that event again. It's a fantastic venue, but that's all for the future. But in the meantime, Gav's got first opportunity here, and the key ball is obviously that yellow that's next to the red. Just where his right hand is now. He's trying to move it. It's a good attempt. And one thing you'll see about Gav, you'll certainly see plenty of emotion, plenty of body movement. He leaves it all out there, that's for certain.
Yeah, we mentioned that about some of the players' sort of body language and stuff, and I'm sure we'll see plenty more throughout this tournament, won't
we? Yep. I think you might see a facial expression now after that shot as well. Just didn't quite get through that one at all. Just betwixt and between. Bit of tension there in the arm. It's a good hit.
Oh, what a shot that is.
It's a great hit. You just can't predict anything in this game. I think this yellow goes in the middle. And in it goes, no problem. Perfect on the black, and this has been sub-finished by the Rocket. This to take a 4-2 lead.
Frame.
And there you see it. The Rocket is now 4 frames to 2 ahead against Alex Donahue, the Don. Can Alex get back in this match? What do you think, Kevin? Do you think Alex can edge himself back in here? Because we have seen some great qualities over the years with Alex on the IPA tour.
Yeah, well, Alex is only 2 behind. It's only a dry break and a couple of dishes, and we're back as you are. He's certainly a quality player, but again, I just come back to how much sharp is he? And a lot of the players who are going to be in this tournament, can they shake off that ring rust and deliver on this arena, and under the pressure and the lights of the cameras and the pressure and the expectations. It's a big ask when they haven't played in tournaments for almost a year and a half.
Yeah, because we're actually really testing them here, because we've got a major different surroundings, in this great studio, and it's just created a completely different atmosphere to what some of these players are used to, hasn't it?
Oh, this event is arguably like no other event beforehand. The views at home and just seeing the match, but there's so much stuff that's going on behind the scenes. Some of the imagery that we've been taking of the players in the green screen area, and some of the pre-match stuff, and you know, the post-match interview area as well. This is a whole new ball game, and you know, I think you know, the feedback we've been getting is that the players have been loving it, and so the viewers, with you know, all the great feedback that we've been getting.
Yeah, certainly has, and you know, I think it's that sort of action that's just sort of I don't know. You can't let it go, can you? You know, you don't want to go for a cup of tea. You don't want to do anything, do you? You know, you just got to stick with it, because you know, there's no doubt you will miss quite a bit, won't you, if you do disappear just for a minute.
Well, absolutely, because you know, these rules, these players, you know, it is action every step of the way. So it's a nice shot there from Alex. But yeah, Alex can certainly get back into this match. I think this frame is massive. He doesn't want to be 5-2 down. You know, 5-3, 5-4 is still well in it. But 5-2, that is going to be a big ask, even for the Don.
And you know, this isn't relatively that easy, is it? You know, there's still a thing or two that could go wrong here. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I'd certainly rather be on yellows than reds in this situation. That if he's got a nice angle on this one into the bottom left corner, he might be able to just screw back onto that red that is just above the yellow on the left-hand side. Just like that. Played it well, and I think that shot is the key to this frame. So it's looking like the comeback starts now.
That weren't his smoothest shot, Kevin. That was it. You know, he didn't seem to cue through as well as he normally does. And but you know, I don't see him making an error here. I mean, this should be 4 frames to 3.
Yeah, I think he was stretching a bit. He just wanted to get the shot played as quickly as possible. He knew he had a big area to get the white in. And duly completes the frame. So just pegs the rocket back to 4 frames to 3. Certainly been a great first match as well, where the hotshot Robert Steeman came through against the Bear Vicky LOMAX. Vicky started off well, but just sort of ran out of steam a little bit, and Robert found his feet in the middle frames there, and was pretty flawless in that middle section of that match, it has to be said.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it along with Dean Shields, who was in the comms watch with me, and you know, Robert looked really good in the mid frame, but then we did see the 1 or 2 misses after. So, but you see why he's got a snooker background with some of the shots he's produced, and his cue action is really sort of flawless.
Frame 8.
Yeah, put
Gavin
some
Robinson to
good
break,
pressure balls.
leaving 4 frames to 3. Time running.
But whoever's in the final tonight, that is going to be a cracking match at 10 o'clock. Certainly one not to miss. Good break from Gav. Hits the ball straight on. You'll see different styles of breaking over the course of the next 7 weeks or so. Got your side breakers, your front on. One's just a bit in between. Some little change halfway through match when one way's not working. As all these players battle to unlock the secret of the break. That was an excellent first shot there from Gav. Got onto his trickiest yellow. And he's turning this opportunity into a pretty good one.
I mean, this is probably the most trickiest part of this frame now, because he's going to need a bit of control in it, because we're assuming he can see that ball over the left middle. And it's just about whether he can, you know, because he's going to go close to that bag, and it's just whether it comes out, and it hasn't. So, what's he got on now then?
Well, he's going to have to invent something. I think that shot was always going to be rattling in the jaws. I think he needed to just dig down on the white ball and either try and cannon into those yellows or just to try and do something to get the white ball away from that area of the table. However, he's pulled the situation right back with a fantastic recovery pot there.
So now we're just, Gavin is, I'm expecting him just to push this yellow in. Do you think he's got an angle just to drop so we can drop behind this black so we can drop it in the middle?
I think he's got an absolutely perfect angle there, Mark. Just run this white through, white off the side cushion, bring it off about a foot off the left cushion for a nice straight black into the right centre. I don't think there's anything more to this shot than that. Just composing himself.
And that looks pretty good.
That is absolutely perfect.
And this black to put him one frame away from victory. And there it is. Gavin Robinson, the Rocket, is winning by 5 frames to 3. Join us after this break for some more action.
Frame 9. Alex O'Donoghue to break, trailing 5 frames to 3. Time running.
Thank you and welcome back. I'm still joined by Kevin Barton in the comms box. Not so very close to me though, Kevin. Are you? You're a few miles away. Is that right?
Yeah, 1 or 2 miles away. Just working remotely. The wonders of modern technology, making all things possible.
And how are you finding the new sort of way of the remote comms, as it's called?
Weird.
That's a good way of explaining it, I suppose.
Yeah, it's because obviously, throughout the sort of 7 or 8 years we've been doing live streaming, we've always been there, close to the action, and then to all of a sudden be 90 miles away, working from home. It's new. Let's put it that way. It's new. So, but it's all good. The art of the possible is amazing these days.
Yeah, definitely. And, now the Don's back at the table here, this is really a good chance to get back into this match again, if he just, he's overdone that. I've spoke really too soon, and it's a commentator's curse.
Yeah, I was just going to say that to me, as a point I alluded to when I started, that the difference between these two players at the moment is that Gav just looks so much sharper. And I do think that event last week has... whilst he lost his match, I think it certainly held him in good stead for this week. Alex would never miss that shot in a month of Sundays. But I just think he's just showing a little bit of ring rust out there.
And these yellows, they don't look impossible, do they? He's got a tough one at the top, but you're going to expect him to get on this now in the next shot or two, aren't you?
Well, I think he'll probably just take these 3 out down at this bottom end of the table, and then just work his way up to those other 2. Just going to little soft stun on this one into the bottom right corner. In choice of either of these 2 yellows. And just work his way up, which depends what angle he leaves himself. That's nice. I mean, he can actually play for either of these 2 yellows here. Obviously, it's easier to get on the one that's nearest the black. But if he wanted to be a bit flamboyant, he could probably screw the white back for the one on the top cushion. But I think he'll just take the one into the top corner, which he has done, and it might be a little bit straight.
I think with this shot, Kevin, when he plays this, he needs to leave himself an angle just so he can bounce on and off the cushion, or even off the side cushion, just so he can get nicely on this final black. And you don't want to be straight, and that does look like he's left not a lot of angle. We'll know a lot from his facial expressions.
Yeah, you don't need to be the best commentator in the world to to know what's going on with that shot. You can tell from his face. Can he force anything out of this shot?
That don't look bad.
So he could take this black off the red into the left centre. I think that's the shot he might be looking at. Certainly doesn't go in the corner. Just want to catch this black about half ball. And it's actually a nice angle off the red. It's gone in straight.
Frame.
There it is. Gavin Robinson has taken the match by 6 frames to 3.
I don't actually think he realised he'd won the match.
Yeah, he's won that 6 frames to 3, and now we'll. So if you join us back after this break, we'll find out from the players. Join us later.
Welcome back to day 3 of the 2021 Sporty Stuff TV Champions Cup. I'm joined, as always, by our resident expert, Mark Pickworth.
Hi.
Wow. What a day 3 already. It's been amazing, hasn't it?
It certainly has, and you know, we've seen a sort of mixture of matches there. You know, we obviously had the you know, Robert taking Vicky out by 6 frames to 1, and then you know, we just watched that final match there. You know, Gavin has produced an amazing performance to beat the Don by 6 frames to 3.
I've got to ask you, how does it feel commentating on it as well? Because you literally are right there. I was sat next to him all the way through, and you like, what's it like seeing it that close up?
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned, you know, in the intro, you know, I love to watch it, you know, from the comms box, because you just see pretty much most angles, and to see some of the facial expressions, you know, you just sort of get the gist about how the players feeling out there, or about how what's gone wrong, what's gone right. So it's really good.
Well, now we can ask them themselves, although it seems that a lot went right. Let's go first to our first game. Let's get Hotshot over here, please, with a big old smile on your face. So as if I need to ask you, how do you think the game went?
It was a nervous start. Obviously, 1 each. I played a terrible shot to try and hang a bag. And normally, I'm quite an attacking player, so I thought, I won't be doing that. I'll be going for everything from now on. And then I clicked after that. Played well.
You just seem very relaxed. What did you think of the game, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned about you're more of an attacking player, and I think we saw that in sort of frames 3, 4, and 5. Yeah. You know, did you sort of think to yourself, why have I done that? Did something else twig in the arena? You know, what made you do that sort of type of shot?
I don't know. I felt a wee bit cagey early on. Obviously, you try and come across that you're nice and calm all the time, but inside, you're just on. You've not played all year, first competitive match, and I just felt a wee bit negative thinking. And then as soon as I done it, it's probably the best thing that could have happened. As soon as I done that, I thought, right, not again. We'll just play normal pool from now on and just go full of shots.
Okay. And what about the sort of condition of the table? I mean, we've, you know, pretty much every player that we've spoken to already, you know, they've all mentioned about how sort of fast, you know, it's got different angles comes off the cushions. How did you find that today?
It was very similar to what I've been practicing on, so I felt I dealt with it okay, but it is super reactive. It's tough if you need to start using cushions and stuff like that, then it is slidey, and obviously your angles, it can make you look foolish at times, but absolute immaculate table, played through, no complaints whatsoever.
And what sort of frame did you sort of feel a bit more comfortable about?
I took away a nice finish in the 3rd frame, and that just relaxed me, and I felt super confident after that. You know what it's like playing pool yourself. Once you get that first good clearance under your belt, you're in a much more positive mindset. So.
Well, a big congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you play
Thank you.
A little bit later on.
Guys. Cheers.
Well done. And then we've got to say congratulations to our second winner of the day. Come join us. Rocket, hello there.
How are you doing?
And you were confident from the start, even when you first turned up today, he was just like, yeah, I'm fine. How did you find the game?
I enjoyed it, yeah.
What was your favourite thing about playing on that table? Because obviously it's a brand new table, it's just been laid. Some people have found it a little bit nerve-wracking. What were your first feelings when you started using it?
It's just so reactive. I felt a bit edgy. I didn't like release the cue on my shots. I was trying to just like roll everything in, and as he made a point there, when you're using cushions, it's like it can make you look stupid, but the table's really good. That's how a table should be in a venue. It's brilliant there.
Well, that's good to hear anyway. Mark, what did you think?
I mean, you know, you said, you know, it's sort of a bit of a slower start for you, but, you know, I saw that, you know, when you sort of got into the match, you know, it was probably from about the fourth frame. I'm not going to be too critical of you. You know, did you feel that it was from the fourth frame where you started to get a bit more comfortable? Because when you was walking around the table, you just looked like you were strutting around and you're being in a lot of control.
I felt good the whole match. Obviously, I've missed that black in the first frame. I think I nearly put the window out with my arm, to be honest with you. I don't know what happened. I think what it was is I had it in my head that I had a high bridge, so I'm queuing down on the queue. And as I've went to hit it, I've actually dropped my hand, and I've just, no excuse, I shouldn't have missed it. But obviously, I had it in my head, like my hand wasn't on the table flat. I was high bridging. Stupid way to play the shot, so I deserved it, you know. I
weren't going to mention the black, but I am now that you've mentioned it. I mean, I said in the comms, I mean, Gavin would be really disappointed at black. I think you even said you'd probably put that 100 out of 100. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, obviously, when you play with players like Mark and stuff in practice, you know, you miss them, you've got to get them out your head, because obviously if you don't, you're just getting mashed around the room. So obviously, I've learned over the years, you know, just to put. I think I took a really good finish out in the next frame. Not so much a good finish, but obviously when you've missed such an easy ball, you know, and then Alex has should have went 2-0. Obviously, he's broke down, which has then handed me the frame back. That black's definitely gone now, because I'm thinking you should have been 2-0 there, you know. So I enjoyed the match, really did.
And so, how are you feeling about the next one?
I'm looking forward to the final tonight.
It'll be a good one. Well, thank you so much. I'll let you get back and have a little rest ahead of tonight anyway.
Well played.
And I've got to ask you, Mark, how do you think it's going to go tonight then? They've walked out now. Wait till they've gone before we talk. So what are you thinking for tonight?
Well, we've got two contrasts of styles again. You know, we've seen plenty of styles throughout the past couple of days. You know, we've got Robert Stephen, you know, he's got a snooker background. He's got such an elegant cue action. He's, you know, he's a really tremendous potter. You know, Gavin, you know, he leaves everything out there, doesn't he? And, you know, I'm expecting some more fireworks later on tonight.
I've got to say, I don't know about you, like everyone at home watching it, both of them seem confident, happy and settled, which is really exciting.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, to be honest with you, it's hard to sort of, you know, predict which way it's going to go. And no doubt you're going to ask me a bit later on, but, you know, which I don't mind sort of saying.
So, yeah, who's going to win?
I mean, I've already predicted that Gavin probably won't make the final tonight.
But you're still thinking that now?
No, definitely not. You know, my options have changed, and you know, the way Gavin's played tonight, the way that he got settled in, he started strutting. I see that he's probably the more confident player, and we'll have to look to see how.
We will have to wait and see if your predictions are right or right. You just never know how it's going to go. If you're watching the past few nights, who knows? We are just looking forward to it tonight, aren't we?
We certainly are. Yeah.
So that is, what is it? We've got the Rocket versus Hot Shot. That's quite dramatic. Do you reckon it's going to be that dramatic?
Oh, definitely. And I can't wait for it to start. You know, hopefully everyone's going to join us later on, and you know, to see there's some even more tremendous action.
I think it's going to be amazing. Do make sure you join us tonight. I mean, the past couple of nights, it has been very shocking. So make sure tonight, 10 o'clock, you join us for is the Rocket versus Hot Shot. Tonight, 10 o'clock, Sporty Stuff TV.